Just I was debating on doing a video of this, but I don't know if it's really worth all the editing and everything. I thought it would be just kind of a cool hangout, even if anybody does or doesn't show up. Again, just kind of a live brainstorm. And reason being is a bunch of you here on YouTube have said keep this thing and build this thing, despite how rough it is. Um, And I'm normally the type of like save it guy, don't put it out guy. If there's any chance you can save it and it'll live again, you should do so. But this thing is just so rough. But between YouTube and everybody on Facebook, you got my brain juices flowing. I'm thinking. And here, if my camera would turn around, I can turn my camera around, right? Yeah. Here is what I'm thinking. Since this, none of this is good. And I thought maybe getting like a Fox body or later 70s K-frame, K-member, and trying to make it happen. But I think A, it's going to be expensive. B, it's going to be hard. C, that's it. No C. So what I'm kind of thinking about doing is, I guess you would consider them to be rockers. They are quite large and in decent shape. So what I'm thinking about doing is just squaring up this body, gut this interior, reinforcing it so it doesn't shift on me any more than it probably has, and building as basic as I can a 2x3 frame to come probably along the rockers, transmission tunnel, and bring them all the way to the back so we can mount our leaf springs to them. And we'll put more thought into this later. But give this thing some sort of actual frame, get it all boxed and rigid. Probably cut it off right here. And I've already sourced this on Marketplace. They are between 100 and 300 bucks. I found one I think I can get for 100, or 50 actually, a 50s Ford straight axle. Square it up in here, slide that straight axle underneath of it, get some fat beefy boys out back, cut that wheel well if we got to, do some round tubing so we got something to mount our fenders and our radiator to, and turn this thing into a gasser. I think that's the only way we're really gonna save it. Leave it already, because you know that's kind of my style. Metal is relatively inexpensive. Like I said, I think for under 100 bucks, I can score that straight axle and its leaf springs, spindles, and everything. I'm gonna see if I can con my cousin into letting me use. He's got a Holly 500 2-barrel. So if he'll let me use that, because this thing's all locked up, throw that 2-barrel on here, actually throw some fresh points in here, probably actually steal Sandy's spark plugs, get her new ones, put the used ones in here, because they got to be in better shape than this. And you know, she deserves some love. She's a good girl. But if we can get this engine to fire and run decent, maybe we'll pull the trigger on actually building this thing. Maybe. I'm also supposed to be picking up a OMC 235 engine, which is to my knowledge, the 351 version of the OMC 175 marine engine that's in Sandy. So we'd have like a dual boat motor thing going on. I don't think I would put the 351 in here just because the 302 is already there, assuming it runs good. What I'm thinking about maybe doing for cool factor is using the boat exhaust manifolds and maybe building a flange to convert them to 3-inch and then just running them right through the wheel well or out through the fender. I have the original stock cam from the Lightning right there. So it's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe, like I said, do some sort of makeshift frame just along the rocker and just kind of box in this whole scenario. give you something firm for the leaf springs to tie into. Probably keep the factory rear end. Potentially take the 3-speed out of Sandy when we go 4-speed. Put it in here. Otherwise, pray this transmission works. And do us a legitimate bottom dollar, nasty, rusty, super sketchy gasser. Because I think that's going to be about the only way that this car ever gets saved, is by sliding some sort of structure back under it and then just continuing to abuse and enjoy it, because it's just too far gone. If you're just tuning in, a bunch of people on Facebook and YouTube have been all over me about keeping this car and saving it. But I mean, all that. And again, at the beginning of this video, I had debated on maybe using a later generation K-member out of a Fox body or something and trying to adapt it and make it work, do some bracketry. But those K-members are relatively expensive. And then, you're going to have all the suspension and everything to go. And the next thing you know, you've got, $1,000 wrapped into parts that you still have to fabricate and make fit and then line up. And just, I think that straight axle is going to be the way to go. So just box in underneath everything, run us up some rails that are already the length of the straight axle. Maybe go high in the front, maybe not. It's going to be obviously a little high with the straight axle. Some sort of zoomy type exhaust out the side. Maybe we can eBay or Marketplace a decent intake manifold. Maybe rebuild an old carb, or maybe get Sandy a better carb. And we're just going to start stealing parts off of Sandy, and we're going to build this thing. It's kind of where this project is starting to go. I want that transmission. I want that carburetor. But, yeah, guys, I was going to make a video about it, but I figured it's late, and I had a long, messed up day at work, and I needed to work on the wife's truck real quick. I wanted to drink real quick, and I just thought I would live brainstorm and pick your guys' brains, too. Let me know what you think about that. Just getting some 2x3, boxing in that whole floor, just doing some sort of, I'm by no means am I a fabricator, but I can make rectangles and stuff. And if you've been following this channel for a while, we did the Galaxy gasser with the flip nose and the big block swap. I never got to drive it or nothing before I sold it, but I've always wanted a gasser. In fact, I've threatened to gasser this thing a time or two, but I don't think that's the route that I'm going to go. So I think maybe for the second time, I'm going to try and live my gasser dream. And again, like we always do, bottom dollar, just get us some steel, hit up Marketplace and junkyards, and just try to make do with what we got. Let me know in the comments what you think. Obviously, if we're going to go that far, we could, I've had a couple suggestions to do a Mustang 2 front end, which again, expensive. We could also, like, S10 Chevelle or something, front clip. There's options, but I don't think any of them are as cool as gasser. I suppose we could, like, eBay some fender flares and really tuck this thing down low, and then again still do a 2x3 tubing frame in it, and maybe like do an autocross car or something. I'm still thinking gasser. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm dirty. I've had a long day. We are potentially trading in both of our trucks tomorrow. Fingers fucking crossed. I'm tired. I want to finish this drink. But thank you guys for hanging out. Again, in the comments, give me ideas. Gasser, autocross, crusher. Do we like strap the rear of it to one truck and the front of it to another truck and whistling diesel this bitch? It's mean. It's mean. I'm not that guy. Yeah. Let me know. Hope y'all are having a good night. Give me some opinions, some ideas. Do some brainstorming. If anything, jump over to the Epi's Chop Shop Instagram and Facebook. I don't really have Instagram does okay. Facebook, like no one follows me on Facebook. Go follow Epi Shop Shop on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Actually, you can find me on all the motherfuckers. No Twitter. No, what's the new Twitter? I don't know what the fucking new Twitter is. I don't care. But yeah, go follow me on fucking Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and we can have some more in-depth conversations on there. But deuces, I'm out.